What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 35 of Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy Salinas, joined by my brother Junior Salinas. We got a good, fun episode for you. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we talked about last week the competition, the CBA competition, did some Easter stuff. We will give you the results of that if you and dive into a little bit more detail. I'm sure you've seen it on all the social medias and stuff from there, but we'll dive into that. We'll give you some previews of some stuff we have going on, and of course our Inside the Pit segment as well. And of course we'll talk a little around the pit as well. But let's get into it. Let's first start off with a big thank you to our sponsors, which are Prairie Fresh, Mad Cow Cutlery, Holy Smoke Spice Company, Brothers Keepers. I'm forgetting somebody.
And Meat Hugger.
Meat Hugger.
Yep.
Be sure to go and like all their stuff. Try their stuff for sure, because without them, we couldn't do it. And of course, without you, a big thank you to our listeners. Keep sharing these posts. Keep sharing it. If you're watching it on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely go follow us at Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue on social media, because we will be doing some more live stuff as we are at competitions and just maybe hanging out in the backyard. But let's get into it. We were at, let's get to a small business shout out first. Your small business shout out is?
I was going to tell you to go first.
Well, I'll go first. No problem there. My small business shout out is actually it's more of a medium-sized church that I go to. It's Preston Ridge Church here in Frisco, Texas. They are very good. Like you said, just a small to medium-sized church located on 5849 Hillcrest Road, Frisco, Texas, 75034, led by Pastor Gerald Griffin. Great person, great guy, great family welcoming church. You want to go and worship, give thanks to God, go ahead, hang out with them. You can also drop off your kiddos. I think if they're 6 years old and younger, they have daycare free, so that you can worship and let somebody take good care of your kids from there. And like I said, we go pretty much every Sunday, and we absolutely love it. We love the messages they give. And so we could not have asked for anything better. So it is definitely go check them out. Preston Ridge in Frisco, Texas. Your small business shout out?
I'm going to give a shout out to one here locally, Pit Pals Barbecue out of here in Princeton, Texas. If you're looking for, any kind of catering, maybe you have an event to kind of throw, give them a shout out. That's Pit Pals, PIT, PAL BBQ. Be sure to check them out. Both of the owners there are amazing people. Went to high school with them, so definitely give them a shot. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. I'm not sure if they're on TikTok, but be sure to check them out. Pit Pals Barbecue on Instagram and Facebook. But let's just dive right into our next segment. What do you want to?
Let's go over the results of the CBA competition, the Champion Barbecue Alliance in Weatherford. Was a great competition, right around 20-something cooks out there. Some of them which will be going got their invites to the American Royal out there in Kansas City. So we are happy for them, and it's great to go up against them. The level of competition that was out there. Overall, what was your overall aspects of your cooks, of everything, the turn-ins you turn in, which were chicken, pork, and then you had ribs, pork ribs, obviously, and then your brisket. So what was your thoughts overall?
I think everything but the chicken was good. Chicken, I thought, probably a little bit salty, I guess, is what I would have probably said. Wasn't really shocked that we didn't get a top 10 call. It was still pretty good. Definitely, uh, flavor was there. Just thought maybe with some of the rub coming off a little bit during the cut and having to season it up, 2 or 3 times to try to get to look presentable. I thought that would have probably messed it up, and overall it did. Um, and then ribs, pork butt, both of those flavor wise was good. Tenderness was good. Very spot on from what we did last cook off. And then the brisket. That brisket, when I bit into it, I looked at Derek and I said, "Nope, you don't. This is it." Even Derek bit into it and said, "Oh yeah, one bite, you got everything there." And that's what we were looking for. Finally got that pop. That one. As soon as you bit into it, it was like, "Wait a minute, what is that? What is this?" Everything kind of gelled, so we just kind of figured, and that brisket. I pulled it off probably about an hour before, let it rest. And that thing was tender, it was jiggly, it was perfect. And to come out with that first place brisket call, for sure, I thought when we didn't get fifth, fourth, and third, and second, I was like, well, okay, maybe I missed something. But nope. As soon as you heard that beat for Mr. Luke Combs, that was it.
Let's be real. Let's give the listeners something here, and if you're watching on YouTube, definitely you can see the reactions on it. He sat there for a second. I heard the initial quiet because nobody else had a little build up to their song. It was bam, and they were there right on it. So you had that build up. I did it. I remember hitting you on the shoulder. You kind of looked at me, and then it hit the song. The sheer excitement and joy that you saw in your face and everybody there and our little group that was there was well worth it to drive out there. And to finish first there in brisket, finally after I don't know how many cook-offs and how many cooks you did to nail it on that kind of cook. It's something, like I said, I was on a high. I was so thrilled for joy. So excited. I actually drove, instead of driving home to rest, I actually went and told Chelsea, who was at her grandmother's house in Garland, said, "Hey, let's go have some dinner. I'll drive to y'all," and drove from Weatherford all the way back to Garland and then all the way home later that night, and still was ecstatic even the next day, going to church, wearing the big Salinas barbecue grill, kind of walking with the chip on the shoulder, even though I did absolutely nothing. If it wasn't for me holding up the grill that one time, it would have been second. I'm telling you that.
Shut up.
Be honest with you.
Man, you didn't hold it up once.
They've never let me touch the beans, and yet when I've done the beans, it's finished second, highest we've ever done. So, hey.
That's because you never get there on time.
That is true. I don't stay the night lately. But hey, I got a little one one day. So
you blaming it on Eden?
I will blame it on Eden. For sure, or Chelsea. Not gonna blame it on me. I'll blame it on the rain. Be like Milli Vanilli. But yeah, to me, that brisket was awesome. And I wish I would have taken some home for myself for the ride home.
It wouldn't have made it to Chelsea.
It wasn't gonna make it. I could have taken the whole bag home. I don't think it was gonna make it to Chelsea. I'd have been eating it on the way home. I do agree. The chicken, I thought it was different. I thought it was really good though. But the judges, from when I went up there to drop it off, because people ask, "What's your job? What do you do there?" That's my thing, is to get it there on time, to be the time management and take the box, make sure it's successfully handed off in there to the judges, and trying to take a peek at who's judging. It was a little older folks, but I think that might have been a little different. It might have been too salty, a little kick or something that they didn't like on the chicken. But had we have gotten the chicken call, maybe we finish in the top 3, maybe even a little higher. Of course, Chelsea was upset, thinks that the brisket should override that and you should be first or second automatically on that. But that's why people left a certain group. That's what I told her, because that was the case. Brisket. Yeah, so but brisket's the tiebreaker. So overall, I will say I'm proud brother for sure. I know Dad was happy. of everything, and which is funny. We'll get into him here in a second, but overall, it's ecstatic. I mean, just what was your feeling like when you heard the music? Were you in shock, or did you just like? Were you? I know you weren't expecting first.
No, I just didn't want. I didn't want. There's so many times where we thought we cooked a great brisket and it's 10th. So I for sure was glad I didn't get 10th. But like I'm saying, as soon as it didn't get 5th and 4th and 3rd, I'm like, okay, that's we met. The judges didn't like it, I guess. So yeah, definitely when the music started playing, and then Laura Caldwell, said Big Salinas barbecue, it didn't hit right away because I was in shock a little bit. But as soon as I heard it, you hit me, and I realized, yeah, I was ecstatic about it. Kevin come down and he was happy. Uh, Everyone there, I mean, was uh, pumped up. But for sure, definitely was in shock for sure. Uh, I told Kevin, one of us is, for sure would love to have, the Red Beards, GC and RGC, but to see him RGC it, it definitely would have been cool to, you know, if we'd have been RGC and GC together. But one of these days. But yeah, that first place brisket call finally to get that, was great. But yeah, we were just one or two judges away from getting in top 3, making a run for number 2. Looking at the scores, one judges and chicken hurt us. Definitely, getting a top 10 call on chicken would have helped a little bit. Getting even better, getting in top 5, close to that. Definitely would have had a, really, really good shot at, at least second. First would have been kind of hard, because that team, first place, man,
killed it. I don't know what there was. I know their song was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And if you've never been to a CBA event, go to it, check it out. Hit up, Kevin Caldwell. He usually is the one here around in here cooking at it or doing it. He'll give you the lowdown on it, but just the awards on it. I mean, like Derek and Becca were there. That was my first one to ever go to, and so I see it on thing, but it's completely different. There's no numbers where you're waiting with that awkward silence. That who is it? It's a music, and that gets you into it. Even though, because some people won. We saw some people walked it, had no clue that they had won. They're like, oh, that's me. Maybe they forgot their walk-up music and stuff, but it was great. And then to see Kevin get, reserve, knowing that he cooks with one of our stuff, some of our products as well, is just like we walked when he walked. And he walked in every category, so that was good. So you could kind of see the writing on the wall there that he was doing really good at it. But yeah, that team that won it, I don't remember the name of the name, but they killed it. I told them out, hey, congrats, my hat's to you, and they were just ecstatic with it as well. So yep. Very, very good cook-off. You had an interesting night before with the wind playing havoc with you in the little trailer. That wind was ridiculous.
That wind was bad.
And then it stopped after we got to the awards and just stopped. That's how you know God. Look, y'all been out here cooking. I'm gonna mess with y'all. Now, once y'all are done, after we turn in brisket, I promise you, the wind just died down to nothing.
It really did.
It's just he's like, hey, y'all want to challenge y'all today, and that's what he did. So it was a lot of fun being out there. I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully, we can bring it home. I believe that first reserve grand champion, it's coming, and hopefully you can just keep building on this momentum as we go further on from there.
Yep.
What else you got on that cook?
I mean, overall, CBA is really good if you're just trying to get into, or maybe you're just running recipes and you're just trying to see where you fall in, what the judges think. If you want to get ready for the American Royal or KCBS cook-off, definitely give CBA a try because you're gonna have to cook all 4 meats. So you know if you're stepping out of your realm of cooking pork butt, you can definitely get ready for it. You doing that for sure. So that way, when you get to the roll, you don't have big curve to try to get in there. So at least you can get some kind of practice in there, some kind of judges in there. Because you want to have something down versus nothing. If you want to just wing it, then it big cook off, go for it. We've done it before.
Yeah.
But certainly, definitely, I would recommend doing one of their cook-offs.
For sure. I would, like I said, even if you're just curious about it, go out there and check it out. Just say, hey, and walk around. And I mean, everybody says it. There's nothing like going to it. You can ask questions. People are gonna answer. They're not gonna just, hey, get out of here. I'm cooking. No, they're gonna ask you the questions. I know we had an issue with our generator, and 2 different teams ran over to help us with it. I've got this same one. Take this off. Give it a minute. Start it. Do it. But you need to clean it, and it worked. And that's just it, because they could have been like, oh, they're having issues. Forget them. That's one less team I have to worry about. But no, people drop what they're doing to help out. We got congratulations. You got congratulations on things. People coming and asking you about your barrel smokers. How do you cook with them? I want to buy one. You're answering questions about what's the difference between that and like a kettle or a green egg, and you're like, well, there's really nothing. I mean, just the way it retains heat. But it's a lot of fun. Go out there, check it out. And like I said, for the award show, she was absolutely right. If you've never done it before, which a lot of those cooks had, some of those cooks hadn't, I would say a lot of them, but you had your experience. Ones that will be going to the American Roll were there last year, were there again this year. For you to kind of beat them that were at that high level was amazing. But it's definitely an award show that you won't miss because it is exciting. With the music going, you kind of get into it. Get a little singing going on, and when they cut the music off, it's funny because people are still singing afterwards. But interesting. But let's go into it. We will dive into our next segment here, and we'll finish off our thoughts on that. When we get back, it's time for Inside the Pit with Big Salinas Barbecue.
Is it time, bro?
Well, if you got some cool story, bro?
I'm ready.
All right,
I'm
please throw some.
I've been ready.
This has been a feisty. It's playoff atmosphere that's going to be expected. Yeah. So let's get in some good vibes here. Share some good stories here, bro.
Well, okay, so I like the way I did it last time.
Okay, yes, please give us some options.
I'm gonna give you just little snippets.
Yep.
And you choose from there. I've got
Nathan, you're our guest. Why don't you choose first?
I've got 6 total stories we can choose. We don't have to do them all, but I've got 6 total pulled up. So our first one, the snippet is Trial by Combat. Then we got Blue Dogs, Blockbuster, Alien Love, Cape Cod Lobster Diver, or Thief Makes a Getaway.
A lot of good options there. What do you got? What do you got, Nate? What are you picking?
What, Nate? Nate, you're our guest. You can choose first.
I have to choose from those 6.
Yes.
It's kind of easy. Alien Love.
Alien Love.
Alien Love. London YouTuber claims to have been abducted by aliens and fallen in love with one of them. Sick of men on Earth, London actress Abby Bella says that she hopes to normalize interspecies dating.
Okay.
It's about time, right?
Yeah.
We've been waiting too long.
I mean, yeah. Who doesn't want to get it on with an alien, right?
Mm-hmm. We've talked about that a few times. 3 chick from Total Recall comes out.
Yeah, totally down with the 3 chick.
He wants to see a big Spock.
This lady claims that she was, and this is hilarious, that's why I'm reading. She claims that she fell for the alien after he swept her into his UFO and off her feet.
Oh, So sweet. That is beautiful. I love that.
Transporter, or did he walk out there and get her off? I mean,
is it one of the small
did she go into
green
detail?
guys?
Yeah. So bored by
It was
the
Marvin the
pandemic.
Martian. Did he run out there with his little legs?
Does he have an
Just
disguise? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
She was
swipe
bored of
right?
she was bored of the pandemic and before and the offerings of Earth, and she joked about wanting to be abducted by aliens, so she began dreaming of a white light. And sure enough, she says a voice came over her, a white light engulfed her. It was about 12:15 a.m. As she sat by an open window. She said she saw a flying saucer sweep into view, and she wasn't in her bedroom any longer.
Nope. She was in where the magic happens at the alien town.
So you know what they call a human being that's into aliens, right?
What do they call that?
An extrasexual.
Ooh. Extrasexual terrestrial.
Are we sure she wasn't on some sort of weird acid trip?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. She said she woke up in the belly of the flying saucer.
Okay.
And she encountered 5 aliens in the UFO.
Ooh,
and
5 of them?
tall,
Jeez.
Whoa.
No, that's enough. That's enough. Let's shut it down.
I got to say, gang.
No. Okay. All right. All right. What are the? Okay, let's go with
Yeah,
blue
that one's
dogs.
getting bleeped out.
Yeah, let's go with blue dogs.
Okay. Blue dogs. A pack of blue dogs were found roaming near a shuttered chemical plant in Russia.
Welcome back. It is time for the Inside the Pit, where we've asked questions about what you like, what you prefer, what you use, whatever, as you dive inside your barbecue pit. Randy being silly with his hat over there. Hopefully Chris can get that on the YouTube thing. If you do go to YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe, like button, share the video. That helps us out. Share it on your Facebook thing or anywhere you get your podcast for sure. But anyway, I asked the question of Inside the Pit this week was, what ribs do you prefer? Baby back, spare ribs, or beef ribs? Before I get to the people's answer, Randy, what is your answer?
Give me some beef ribs.
Beef ribs. See, now, I will agree with Greg, the barbecue broker, that he thinks beef ribs should be in their own kind of category because they're a different style altogether.
Yeah, it's basically brisket on a stick.
On a mammoth.
But yeah, I mean, if you put that in the choice, that's what I'm going to go with. But if I'm having to choose between spare ribs or, baby back ribs, I'm probably going to go with spare rib.
And we got a lot of answers. People, St. Louis style pork ribs, but beef ribs are their favorite. It seems to be more of what people are doing. And this is, we've called it this before, the St. Louis ribs, style ribs, which is basically just spare ribs, or the dino ribs, because that's really what they are. I mean, we've actually done, I remember you've done deer ribs before. When we did have a deer, we fired up those ribs. A lot of people don't cook it and do it. They tend to just leave it for the wolves. Not us. We're Mexican. We use everything on every animal, but that was in. But it is, like I said, it's all about what you like. Most people did say they liked them all. Some said, hey, I like every single set of ribs. It doesn't matter. Give them to me on the bone. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards. One said a plate of dino ribs would be very expensive, but would be the best tasting ones. I could not agree more. We bought them at, Franklin's at one time. We actually bought it somewhere other than you cooking it, and it was like $20, $30 for a rib because they were huge. They were massive. And I remember Dad saying, no, we need to get a couple. I'm like, no, we're getting one. you see how massive those are. And once he saw it, it was there. But I would say if I had to choose between baby backs and spare ribs, I probably would go with the spare ribs. I think they're a little easier to cook as well. What would you say about that?
Yeah. The spares are a lot easier to cook for sure. The baby backs, you do have to cook them a little bit more, and sometimes they're not as meaty as the spare ribs, and sometimes it's the complete opposite. They got more meat on them for whatever reason. But like I said, I lean more towards the spare ribs because to me, it's easier to cook and you get a little better presentation whenever you have that bone sticking out.
Right. Like I said, we tried the baby backs one day here on the Weber Kettle. They were good. They were tasty. Everybody said, I've asked people afterward, hey, give me your honest opinion. Only way I'm getting better as a cook and stuff is to know good or bad. What do I need to work on? They said, no, they were great, but they thought there'd be more bone. And that's when I had to explain to them the difference, which I didn't really know until asking you. The difference between the spare ribs and the baby backs, that you won't see that, you won't have that grip. And that's what I call the spare rib. You have that grip of the bone, you can just grip on it and go to town from there. We'll lead it to another follow-up question now. We like to bite the rib. Chelsea likes it to fall off the bone. What's your take? Fall off the bone or bite to get all the meat off of it?
I like to bite through. To me, I mean, the fall off the bone, it's a lot easier to eat for sure, but it's a lot messier. I mean, I'm not, when I say bite through, I'm not talking about, that, like the competition almost style that, I want to be able to bite through it real easy with knowing the bone's still there and be able to, clean out the bone with no tugging. Some people like to tug it on a little bit. Whatever your preference is, you can't go wrong either way. But fall off the bone, honestly, is overcooked. You're not really doing much. You're leaving it in the wrap. Basically, you can pull the bone. There's no real skill.
I don't want it to tug like a dog has to tug it off. I want to be able to just bite, and that bite that I bite, I want to pull that off, and that's it. Especially, and I have to remind myself when I'm going out to eat and I get ribs, it's because most places are going to cook it and it's going to fall off the bone because they're just cooking it for a certain length and then they're sticking it when they're warmer and it's just sitting there for who knows how long. And then you bite it. So, and you end up biting one and then taking the whole meat and having to kind of chop down on it pretty good. But I think for me, I certainly like that bite through. I want to bite what I'm biting and then that's it. I don't want to have to then, grab the meat with my hand, set the bone down, and then grab it. I got this piece of meat dangling, which has happened. It's gotten a laugh out of Eden before, but then she tries to do it, and then she's getting all messy. So, but that's funny. That's my thing. But the ribs, like I said, you can't go wrong. I love me some ribs. I know, to me, there's ribs come in at a quick. If I'm looking at barbecuing, that's one of the easiest things you can do. Smoke. I think to smoke wise, I think chicken you have to really watch it and monitor it. But we'll get some opinions later on down the road on that. Brisket obviously takes time. But the ribs to me are good to go. I like the spare ribs, but hey, I'm not opposed to doing some baby backs again, for sure. Down the line. What else you got on ribs? Talking any tips or tricks that you like to use or do?
I mean, I like to spritz mine. I know there's people out there that'll tell you not to spritz. You can do whatever you want. You can spritz, if you want, impart some different kind of flavors. If you want to get it a deeper color where you want, like more red, you can use, Coke, soda, Dr. Pepper, Big Red. I've seen people, marinate stuff in pork and, you know, Fanta. So definitely, if there's a lot of different things you can do to impart different flavors. And that's where the spritz comes in, because you're going to get moisture on there. And you're going to be able to get different flavors all together. For sure.
Correct. There's certain people that believe there are no spritz team, but I don't know if you saw on Facebook, Ed Ross his cook this last weekend, and he did a beer chicken and some ribs. Well, the chicken obviously got done a little bit before the ribs, and he left the beer in there, which still had some stuff in there. As it pools, the smoke goes, it's going to pull the moisture out of the can, and that's what he kind of used as his moisture on it. And he asked the question, why is it such a no-no in the world, in the community world? He's like, why is spritzing such a no-no? And I say, well, it's not a no-no. It's up to you. Obviously, if you have moisture, like you said, it's going to keep it up. It's going to keep it moist. It's not going to flavor it at all. His ribs didn't taste like Miller Lite. It didn't taste like anything. It just keeps the moisture on it. So, and that's what he used on it, and I don't blame him for it. And this is what I asked him. I said, did they taste good to you? And his wife, he said, his wife doesn't like pork too much, so the ribs were basically for him. I said, well, then did you like it? And he goes, I loved it. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, that's what I told him. Did you like it? Did you like your cook? And even like we're talking about the competition, it's like, okay, I can tell based on your answers, you liked your chicken, but you weren't with your chicken. You weren't money like you were with your brisket. Like I can envision that's your brisket recipe going through from here for a little while. And that's the thing. If you enjoy your meat, if you enjoy your cook, and you're happy with the product you make, your kids love it, your family loves it, then you're good. Whether you spritz or don't spritz, up to you. Like I said, do what you love, do what makes you happy as far as a cook from there. But I've never seen anybody put some little beer spritz on their thing like he had it. But hey, whatever makes it better for him.
I mean, yeah, it's not a no-no. Definitely, I mean, you don't really have to spritz. You don't have to spritz, ribs, brisket, because the meat's naturally going to sweat in there. But it does help a little bit get some of that moisture on there. Some people will say, no, it knocks off the rub. It kills your bark. It doesn't really kill your bark if you're, doing it with the mist. If you're going like right at like water hose type stream, that's where it's going to knock off the rub. You're going to lose some of the bark.
Water hose.
Yeah, when you turn the water hose on and you got that stream.
Are you using your finger as a nozzle?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, and that's what people fail to realize is there's different methods to spritz it. You don't have to spritz, but it helps.
Now,
in my opinion.
Let me ask you this. Do you, in your cook this past weekend, I don't think I saw you spritz anything, but I've seen you do it in the past, and I know you do it on some of your catering gigs, especially when you're doing 4 briskets, 5 briskets, whatever, chicken, you want to keep it moist. From there, and I've seen you doing it in the past as well. And just describe your spritzing. If you have your water bottle, let's say, I know you've got the tool that's like you pull the trigger and you keep it, and then you just go one time over the cross and that's it. But if you're gonna spritz to moisten, what is your tips on it? Like, what would you tell people? Make sure you're only doing this as a pro tip.
When I spritz, I'm using apple juice. Competition-wise, I'm using either duck fat or like the butter spray. Those are what I'm kind of using. And you want that kind of like that mist like you see, that fan, like the Mister fans. That's what you kind of want. You just want to be able to, go over, once or twice and just get that nice little layer of, moisture on there, and then close it. So if you want to use water, you can use water. If you want to use apple juice, you can. People use apple cider vinegar and water. I don't like apple cider vinegar. I don't want vinegar on my meat. I'd rather have apple juice. People say, I don't want my briskets to be sweet. Our brisket doesn't come out sweet. We cater, and the customers love it. They come back and they're dying for more. So you just got to try different things. And if you want to use water, beef broth, whatever it is. But if you're going to spritz, like I say, you want that mist versus just a stream, because that mist is going to be able to keep that rub on there and not lose the rub or lose that arc that you're trying to create.
Yeah, it's right there. And like you said, people, I don't get it. They're no spritzing, and they think, well, it doesn't flavor your meat, so why do it? Okay, but it helps keep it moist. You do other things to keep it moist, to keep it tender, then throwing a little spritz on there doesn't. Now, you're right. If you're doing it as a water hose and you're really spritzing it down, then yeah, it's going to knock off your flavoring. But if you're just kind of real quick, 1-2, lining over it, you're done. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to knock anything off. It's going to soak into there and do it. We're going to get in. I've got another thing for our next topic. For our next Inside the Pit, I want your opinions. I'm going to give you a heads up on it, because normally I don't. And that's the thing. When Randy's on this, he's on the hot seat, because he usually gets it when I post it on Facebook. But next Inside the Pit, I'm going to ask it on all our little groups. I want to know, soak your wood, don't soak your wood. Soak it in water, don't soak it in water. It's something that's come up on my TikTok from time to time. I've heard no, I've heard yes. I want to know other people's answer. Randy, you research it. I already know your answer. We're not going to spread it. We're not going to share it for next time. So let's go ahead and let's take another quick break here, and then we'll be back with our final segment as we talk about Around the Pit. We'll be right back.
Both sides, on every aisle, on all the aisles. Let's go ahead and get into three of a kind. Three of a kind. Maybe we'll get in a little OT with some Moon Knight action later.
All right. So what we are talking about today.
Oh yeah, we got
three of a kind. Our favorite movie soundtracks. And it's going to be Troy, Chris, Dean, Jorge in that order. So, Troy, what saith you?
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been waiting. I'm excited for this one. I don't know if it's going to get hate, but if it does, it, I don't care. It's number one in my heart. But I am going with the soundtrack of the original Top Gun.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Some bangers on there, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I won't super like it.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Welcome back. Our last segment, Inside the Pit. But before we drive inside the pit, we do have an announcement.
I thought the last segment was Inside the Pit.
Oh, it was Inside the Pit. We're talking about Around the Pit. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. YouTube people. I've actually been drinking for a while now, even while I was at the other job, but don't tell nobody.
You know it's being recorded, right?
I do know it's been recorded. It goes live on podcast, and where you get your podcast or YouTube. But anyway, who cares? We do have an event coming up. We're trying to shoot for May 18th. We have what is it on Damn that's good with Big Salinas Barbecue, or Big Salinas Barbecue, the event thing that they can.
It should be on both. I think
on both.
host both.
let us know you're coming. It is going to be at a movie theater, so there will be a movie to watch, and we'll do some questions, some Q&As. If you would like to be on a live panel right there, let us know for sure. We will be having our rubs and stuff out there. All you would have to pay for is if you want popcorn, you want drinks, you want a mixed drink. You would have to buy that. The movie will be free on it, and what we watch is up to you. If you want to watch we can see about the new Spider-Man, or we can see about going old school and watching whatever. I was trying to think of the Roadhouse, the bouncing movie, or whatever you want to watch. Let us know. We'll definitely see what's out there. Or we can watch a new movie that hasn't come out. Maybe that's just released that we can watch. And you can watch it on the big screen for free. And of course, like I said, we'll have a little Q&A on that as well. Go to Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue or Big Salinas Barbecue on Facebook. And you can get more information from there. And of course, we will share it out on all other sites as well. Anyways, as we dive around the pit, the NFL draft was this past week. I gave the draft a C-. That's good with football. Did not like it. They said maybe a C or a B-. The media people gave it a B+, actually. You got high reviews. Randy, what was your overall assessment of the draft?
Give it an A+.
A+? Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
I give it I told you. We're going to go tackle and a linebacker. And I was not wrong. I give it honestly probably a B. I think they needed, we needed a guard and tackle. And they definitely did get that. Now, you're not getting much. I mean, you're getting holding pit. You're getting rid of someone who has holding penalties, bringing in someone who has holding penalties in college. It's going to be all about technique. So leave it up to the coaches to see if they can teach this guy better technique than they did Connor Williams. But we'll see. He's definitely right off the bat, he's bigger than Connor Williams was. So definitely, I think that'll help. And then, D. Williams or Sean Williams, or Sam Williams, whatever he wants to go by. Basically, looks like a Micah Parsons Jr. coming off the defensive end.
Now, he excites me a little bit. I've gone back, looked at a little tape of him. He excites me. I've heard of things saying that, what is it, Tyler Smith, he's an ex-Tyron, whatever, just because he played tackle. Connor Williams played tackle in college. Too. And they moved him to guard, and he never could amount to anything as a guard, and I think it's because he wasn't playing his natural position. This guy did play some other positions on there, and he said he's willing to play whatever. They drafted another bigger tackle later on down the line from North Dakota. So I'm like, what do you see? Like I said, I'm not high on this draft. I wasn't high on the draft class at all. We'll see. I hate the whole, we have to draft. We need needs. We need to draft for our need players and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cool, but we need offensive line. Now all of a sudden we got to provide all this protection and all this and that for Dak. Dak needs this. Dak needs that. Well, we didn't do it for the last quarterback. We didn't do it for the last quarterback after that. We didn't do it for the last quarterback before that. So why are we have to do it in order to make him successful? So we have to give him all these weapons in order for him to be successful. I think it's crap. I think we need a new quarterback. Should we have drafted a quarterback? No, because I didn't like it. None of the quarterbacks that came out. But
we're not getting. First of all, you and I are gonna have to get rid of this. We gotta get rid of that. We got 3 or 4 more years of that.
Of losing. No.
Yeah.
I have no faith that we're going to if we go to the playoffs, we might win a game. the goal has been the NFC Championship game, and then, of course, after that, the Super Bowl. I have my thoughts of us going to that is over. I have none at all.
Yeah, and there wasn't honestly a quarterback in this draft that was very good. And I mean, that's why the first one didn't get picked until, the Steelers. That's why, the number one quarterback prospect went in like the second or third round. There's not very good ones. You don't have very good replacements out there. You know, and like I told Dad, you got 3 or 4 years of Dak. Could Dak prove us wrong? Very well could, but you're gonna have to see it. And like I said, he has to have an offensive line. Without that offensive line, but I think they're building for their future in hopes to, when the time comes, they may bring in the right quarterback.
You could be right. I don't know. I mean, like you said, I'm still bitter that they went out, drafted a receiver, got rid of Cooper, drafted, then gave Cooper all this money, so he still got some dead money that we owe him for the next couple years, even though he's playing with Cleveland. Basically gave him away. And then they just think, we're going to build off the draft because this is it. We're reloading for next year. Then, I see everybody in the NFC East got better. The Commanders, as weird as that sounds, got better. What did I tell you he's going to call? The Commanders got better. The Eagles got better, and I think the Giants got better. I think, honestly, truly, as much as it hurts me to say it as a diehard Cowboy fan, a DC4L fan, I think we took a step back. I really do. And anybody who tries to prove me wrong, maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I don't see a Super Bowl team here. I think we could still probably win the division. It's still not that strong, but we have to see.
Yeah. It's like you had who was it? AJ Brown get traded to the Eagles. And like they said, they're building not for Jalen Hurts, but they're building for someone else. I think that's the biggest thing is, the Eagles are building a team. Maybe Jalen Hurts can lead them to division, lead them to, a good playoff run. But if not, he's, when his rookie deal is up, he very well may be able to bring someone else in or draft someone who can definitely get the job done. The Cowboys are playing with this. When a guy comes up for the contract and his fans love him, we're going to pay him whatever he wants. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, fans loved him, organization loved him, paid him what he wanted. Zeke, fans loved him, organization loved him, paid him what he wanted. Cooper, same thing, traded him. Dak, they caved into whatever he wanted, gave it to him. And now they're going to have to pay the price for it for the next 4 or 5 years. And they're going to have to build that team around him to see if he really, truly is. And I think you're starting to see Jerry realize that some of these things that maybe him and Steven are doing is not the wisest decision.
Couldn't agree more. Here's the thing, though. All those players you listed, they drafted them. Stephen Jones, and like I've said it before, he is a big believer on we drafted them, we need to stick it out with them. We need to give them the best possible shot because they don't want to be proven wrong. Jerry made the joke, well, Stephen drafted Taco. And I've read on Twitter and I was reading other places, these guys have been right in the past. No, we could have had a guy by the name of TJ Watt instead of Taco Charlton. But they wanted Taco Charlton. We could have had a lot of other players instead of people they've drafted, but we didn't. And just because you're undrafted doesn't mean you can't do anything. I think I saw that on a post somewhere Well, he's undrafted, so that should tell you all you need to know. Well, our last quarterback that we gave a lot of money to was undrafted. We couldn't put pieces around him like they want to put pieces around Dak, but that shows you because they drafted Dak. They have to believe. They can't go out saying we are wrong. So we need to admit our mistake. We're wrong. Let's move on. They're never going to do that. And so that's the big key to it. And I think it's going to, like I said, I don't believe for the next couple of years, at least this year, I'm not putting us anywhere near the Super Bowl. If they do, I'll be the first to be okay and admit I'm wrong, but I'm not expecting it at all. Now, come Sunday, don't get us wrong. I'm going to be mad. But they will have one first down to start the season. Randy says they won't. We have a bet going. We've had some people chime in on it. We've had some people chime in on it. Continue to chime in on it. Let us know. What should the bet do? Is they going 3 and out the first drive of this new season? Or will they get at least one first down, then punt? After that, I don't care. Then Randy, we've had people say do a tomahawk steak, let the other one eat it while you have to watch them. I threw out the 1-chip challenge. People said that's good. We've done other challenges, other things as well. We haven't really decided on it. So, but it's there. We will do it Facebook Live when the bet is settled. So we'll see. In other NFL news, a lot of things will change come fantasy football wise, especially I think draft wise, because a lot of these young guys, people moving positions. Will A.J. Brown have the season he does with a no quarterback? DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for 6 games. He went ahead and took that on the chin. He knows he did wrong. I will tip my hat to him on that. And then just a bunch of other things on it. Randy's beloved Longhorns had nobody drafted.
I mean, I don't know. You expected that.
And they're going to the SEC. That. Just because you had somebody drafted doesn't mean you were necessarily good. I'm just saying. You always have that standout star, and we were talking about it the other day, is to go somewhere, if you have a kid that's going to be there, that's going to play. Go somewhere where you're going to play. And if you're good enough, the NFL will find you for there. But we have on our next episode, we're getting close to graduation time. Big graduation, people we know graduating. So if you have graduation orders, get those in from there. The playoffs are in full effect. If you've been watching any of the basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs.
Huh? Playoffs?
I know you're a Spurs fan. You at least like the Stars, right?
I didn't know the Stars were in the playoffs. I don't really pay attention.
They lost last night.
That don't surprise me.
I wonder who Johnny Mag's here for. He was really excited about the playoffs in their podcast. I wonder who he liked. He probably liked it weird. Anyways, what else you got for us today?
That's it. Biggest piece of advice is don't grab a bag that has some fish hooks that are loose. Definitely don't do that. Especially if you know one of us, because I ain't trying to make another trip down the highway. I'm driving 100 miles an hour trying to get you.
Let's tell the listeners about our junior pitmaster, what dumb thing he did this weekend before his prom. Go ahead and tell everybody real quick. Give him a brief rundown.
I mean, he was trying to go fishing. He was trying to go fishing with his prom date, actually. But he grabbed the bag, went to put it in the car, and when he went to put it in the car, the fish hook come through the bag, like 3 layers of a backpack. Stuck in his ring finger, and when he didn't notice it at first, but when he went to slide it in, he went with the bag. So he had to call her to come help him in the back, take him and the bag into the house so they can try to cut it, so that way he can get the fish hook out. But while that was happening, I'm probably about 20 minutes away trying to run some errands before I can get home, so he can get my truck and get a wash to go to prom in the truck. Sister texts me and says, "Hey, he's got a fish hook through the hand." So I turn around, bust a U-turn, come racing back to driving 100 miles an hour, try to get to him, swerving in and out of lanes, like 20-minute driving to 10 minutes. Supposedly, I got there right after she got there, and she lives just right down the road from him. That's pretty bad. But took him to the ER right there. And that backpack was no joke. I'm telling you, 3 layers.
I don't know why he was trying to fish with his finger. I really don't. I mean, they make fishing poles, use your fishing pole. Yeah, she was very much a trooper about it, given the medicine they gave him. It didn't sit well with him. Some people don't know about it. He is a type 1 diabetic, which means for the rest of his life, he will have to prick himself, check his sugar, and watch it like a hawk. And so those medicines, sometimes when you get it, it can mess with your sugar. So he did what he could. He toughened out the prom as much as he could for her. But eventually he had to give in to the medication and the drugs and rest. And she was awesome about it. So, which was great. Hopefully he can make it up to her at some point. We'll have to figure out that, maybe take her to dinner or something, or take her fishing without. But that's what they made toolboxes for. I can't wait to see them. I'm telling you that right now. That's what they made toolboxes for, so that you don't throw it in a bag and it doesn't stick you. But you would think somebody that 4-year fishing on the team and has been fishing since a little kid, since I can remember he'd been a little kid, would know better. But hey, it is what it is. We all make mistakes, I guess. Definitely something he will not do again, I bet. But luckily, Uncle Randy to the rescue, and there you have it from there. So, interesting weekend. Very interesting. Like I said, unbelievable. So, next episode, just to kind of tease, like I said, we'll have our new thing for Inside the Pit. Also, if you listen to this and you have somebody graduating, shoot us their name. We're going to do a graduation shout out for sure on our next episode. They probably will have graduated by the time it airs, but we will do that shout out to let them know congratulations as we do our graduation shout out. Obviously, if you have a graduation party need, hit us up. We can cook it for you. As we have one already, but that doesn't mean you can't cook some more. Dorothy is ready to be fired up and ready to go. So, Randy, what is your final thoughts?
Why do I always gotta go first? Braces.
I can go first.
No. I'll go first.
You're the little brother. That's why you go first. That's why your butt, when you walk too slow during the walk-up song, will take it 10 years to get there. I had to speed you up.
Well, it's not my fault. Y'all wanted to sit 10 minutes away. Y'all stuck us all the way in the back corner.
Rule number 1: when around a pregnant woman, you give in to what the pregnant woman wants. Period. Every guy will vouch for that. You do not mess around. No, Chelsea's not pregnant. It was Becca. Rebecca was pregnant.
Mama, Chelsea's pregnant.
Bullshit. But
you heard it here first on Damn That's Good with Big Tina's Barbecue. They are expecting baby number 2. But final thoughts, as always, follow us on all the social media sites, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Thank you to all our sponsors. Vote for me on Char Champion. The link will be down below in the description. Would love your votes. You don't have to vote for me. You can vote for whoever y'all want. But, I would appreciate it if you vote for me. But like I said, you don't have to vote for me. You can vote for whoever you want. You can vote once a day, And then, of course, check out Pit Pals Barbecue out of Princeton, Texas. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, give our stuff a try. You never know, we just make it hooked. And big taste, big flavor, big Salinas.
There it is. Definitely check those guys out. They are great people as well. So you definitely want to hit them up as well. Like I said, if you're in the Fort Frisco, Texas area, in the DFW area, and you want to check out a new church, definitely hit up Preston Ridge. We will be there. They have all kinds of stuff you can get into. Like I said, daycare for the kiddos, as well as a great pastor in Gerald Griffin. We will be out there for sure to tell Junior Salinas sent you in, and they will treat you like they known you for 1,000 years, for sure. And you can't go wrong, for sure. Again, hit us up with any of your barbecue needs, any of your catering needs. Shoot in those people that you know graduating. Let us give them a shout out on our next podcast. Also, definitely check us out, as we always will do the Inside the Pit questions. We'd love to hear your answers. If you have questions, hit us up. Check us out anywhere you get podcasts going. Check us out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Follow us on all the social media sites, because Randy does give discounts, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. He does specials for those, so you will want to follow him on all of them and get those specials. No matter what you do, whether you're cooking, just sitting back, smoking a cigar, watching your brother cook some delicious steaks that we cooked on Sunday on your grill. Why let him? I don't know. I gave him the credit, but do it with love, do it with passion, and we will see you down the road.
You told me to cook those steaks first off.
I did, because I didn't feel good.
Shoot. I'll do more cooking on yours and Dad.
That's what I told. That's what I told Ray. I think Randy enjoyed cooking it more than I am.
The original 5 levels are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn. People ask, what could be bigger than damn?